Joining with me tonight, the one, the only, it's hashtag Shut Up Pete.
Hey, Danny. How's it going?
You're not Pete.
Well, yeah. I'm. You know me. I'm Paul. I produce on the show. But did Pete not tell anybody he can't be on this week?
No.
He didn't talk to you.
Might have got lost in translation. Dude, that's hashtag Coribear!
No.
Hello, better looking Pete.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm happy for a little break from Pete because he was starting to give me flashbacks of being like 14 years old next to the guy who makes age inappropriate comments. So I am very welcoming of your baby face, Paul. Thank you.
Oh, hi, Johnny Rico.
It's good to be here.
Booth! How's it going?
Bang, bang, what's the hang?
Aloha, hashtag number one fan Martin. How is Hawaii right now?
I don't think we can wait for that.
No, we can wait.
Let's go.
How was everybody's spooky? How was everybody's spooky weekend?
I think I was in bed by like
for
10.
like 48 hours. Sorry, Wilkes Booth.
Don't upset Wilkes Booth. I mean, he's got a track record of bad things.
Yeah. We're good,
right,
man. We're good.
You guys
Peter's being upset in the chat. Let's move on. That's fine. I didn't know he was gonna be here. He wasn't supposed to hear that.
Where is Pete? If he has enough time to be in the chat.
I don't know what to tell you, Danny. Yeah, I don't know.
You're supposed to be answering. You're supposed to have the answers to these questions.
Yeah, it says the Pete Westwood, so you should have the answers for the Pete Westwood.
He told me that he was going to take care of everything and that everyone would know what was going on.
That was mistake one.
Damn it, Pete.
Guys want to do the pop of the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pop of the night's actually a Funko line of the night. It's WandaVision. This came out a little while ago, or we got an announcement a little while ago. These are up for pre-order now. They're gonna be really cool. I like a lot of them. Can we throw that image up really quick? Yeah. So it's very apt. I didn't want to talk about these close to Halloween, but they do have two that are going to be Halloween dressed up. So like somewhere in the WandaVision series, they're gonna be experiencing Halloween, which is really cool too. But this whole line's really cool. And the reason that we brought this up connects to another story in another segment that we have that goes a little something like this. Nothing? No?
Transition.
Disney plus others! Damn it, Pete's not here. That's the reason why the transitions don't work. All right. We're gonna get in the groove. Paul threw off our groove. Pete didn't tell us Paul was gonna be here. Paul threw off our groove. Anyway,
I'm my bad.
No. Anyway, so we're gonna play a little rumor mill. Start this sucker off. And like I said, this is the story that's going to be connecting to our pop line of the week. WandaVision apparently has an ECC exclusive that's going to be coming up at ECC 2021, which is probably going to be a virtual con again, because it's one of the bigger cons that kind of starts off the whole con season and stuff like that. But anyway, regardless, apparently there was a listing for some of the stuff that we can expect at ECC 2021, and one of them was a WandaVision pop that apparently is a 2-pack that features Wanda and Quicksilver. This is more rumor mill. We don't 100% have a confirmation of this. Obviously, we haven't seen what the pop looks like. We haven't seen anything other than it's from a source that has broken a lot of pop related leaks and stuff like that. So it's kind of a reputable source. we'll put a link. I believe there's already a link to one of the articles in the Poppin Off group. But anyway, so what I wanted to ask was, which Quicksilver do you guys think we're gonna get? Because as you guys know, there was one Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. But then we also had a Quicksilver in the Fox Marvel universe that now Disney owns, so now is part of the MCU. And we actually have a casting reported that we have Evan Peters, which is the Fox Marvel Quicksilver, has apparently been hired on as a role in the upcoming WandaVision, but we haven't found out if that's his role or if it's a fake out, and really we're going to have the old Quicksilver there, or not the old Quicksilver, but the original MCU Quicksilver. So it's a mess right now. What do you guys think is going to happen? Which actor would you rather see? I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, and I know Pete's answer, so I don't even have to ask Paul.
Better look at me,
My answer is that I think Evan Peters made a better Quicksilver. Not that I had anything against the original MCU guy, because I loved him in Kick-Ass, which is funny as they were both in Kick-Ass. But I loved him as Kick-Ass, and I thought he was a fine Quicksilver. But I just think Evan Peters did it way better. So if they can connect the Fox Marvel and the MCU this way, then I'm totally in. What do you guys think?
I mean, it all makes sense. WandaVision, from what we've seen in the trailer, it looks like it's jumping all around between these realities that are all somehow psychologically attached to Scarlet Witch. So the idea that Quicksilver of some kind is going to be in the show totally resonates. If it's her trying to create a reality that's her living her best life, then yeah, hopefully her dead brother is going to be there. I don't see Evan Peters returning as his version of the X-Men Quicksilver, mainly because I can't see Kevin Feige wanting to open the door to how many of those characters he's going to pull from. If we're being honest, besides Days of Future Past, the X-Men films that Evan Peters was attached to were not like the most memorable or best of the X-Men films. I think they've already got a brother-sister connection from Age of Ultron with the Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver. And I think that makes a lot more sense to bring into the show. Now, again, we don't know just from this toy leak that this is for sure happening. I mean, we have to remember, what was it, like a year or two ago that we saw pre-Justice League coming out? There was an action figure that had Lex Luthor in his bodysuit, and everybody got hyped up on that. And it didn't turn out to be true, at least not yet. We'll see in the Snyder Cut. But if I had to pick, I would pick Aaron Taylor Johnson just for continuity's sake. But everything is kind of open at this point. Keep in mind that this weekend, like pre-COVID, this would have been the weekend we got Eternals. Originally, WandaVision was supposed to be spring of 2021 and lead right into Multiverse of Madness that was going to be mid-2021. This new shakeup in the release schedule, we're getting WandaVision now. We're not getting Multiverse of Madness until 2022. So there's a big bridge here now that we're going to have to wait. So anything can happen in this series. I think it's all up for grabs.
The only thing I'm going to say, and Corey, you can totally chime in right after me. Fuck the continuity. That's my one. Because, like you said, this was supposed to lead into Multiverse of Madness. That means shit's supposed to go down. So I want no continuity. I think Feige should be taking the best of all the properties they possibly can. I want fucking Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. I want Evan Peters Quicksilver. Let's go. Let's forget the continuity. You know what? Let's just bring back Hugh Jackman. Let's bring him in too. Let's just have everybody lead up to Multiverse of Madness. Let's go crazy. What do you think, Corey?
That's so much. I mean, nothing I can say is going to be better than what Paul has said. The only thing that I have to really say is that Age of Ultron, I didn't really like their relationship together. I didn't really like either character in Age of Ultron. I don't know if that was the whole movie in general. Like the only good part he has was his like final line, and that was it. So I believe like maybe I have seen the X-Men one, but I don't have enough experience with it to really say to have like an intelligent opinion on this. So I'm just gonna say, Paul, yeah, you're right. That was really great. I agree with everything you say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Moving on. So Oh, that's
That's
is that what Pete is?
That's wrong, Tim. That's
Is that
wrong.
where Pete is currently? Anyway, so a little show you guys may have heard of, The Mandalorian, had a season 2 premiere this past week, which is what we got. That was our Halloween treat. Ah, my lightsaber turned off. Just in time for a Star Wars story. My lightsaber behind me turned off.
It knew.
Anyway, so just like with the boys, every week we're going to give Mandalorian spoilers. Yeah! So what we saw was two things in this episode. So number one, we saw Boba Fett armor. Originally, like right away, we saw Boba Fett armor. So we know that no matter what, Boba Fett made it out of the pit. No matter what. Whether he's alive now, whether he's dead, whether whatever. Made it out of the pit because his armor's there. At the end of the movie, and end of the episode, we see someone standing in a sunlit screen, which is very reminiscent of the original trilogy with Luke Skywalker on Tatooine. And what everybody's saying is this is now Boba Fett. I've heard two things. This could potentially be Old Man Rex, or it could be a fake out entirely and just be a stashed off clone from the Clone Wars. I mean, we're still in this galaxy. What do you guys think? Paul, what do you think about all of this?
I thought it was a great intro episode to the season. The finale, like final act of that episode, did feel like an actual movie. I can see where you made the mix up.
Yeah, and it was a bit longer than normal too. So
it was a bit longer than normal. The aspect ratio changed. It was really, really cool. And like you said, the entire episode revolved around they're trying to get this monster out of an abandoned Sarlacc pit on Tatooine. So immediately all the hints were there, and there was a lot of really good little juicy Easter eggs all the way through. I don't know who Timothy Oliphant had to sleep with in order to get to wear the Boba Fett armor while riding a speed racer bike made out of Darth Vader's childhood racer bike.
Anakin's
that was awesome. It was a great first episode. I'm really curious to see if they're going to continue down this line of was that Boba Fett or not. It was the same actor as who played Jango Fett in the prequels.
Right.
So I think that's going to be a big test of Mandalorian season 2 is how many of these episodes are really going to just be standalone and how much of this is going to be a story that we see to continue evolving over time. What's also super interesting about The Mandalorian is all the directing talent that's behind the show right now. This was Jon Favreau's episode. Mr. Iron Man 1 himself got to direct the season opener. But if you check out the names of who was directing in season 1 and the new people they've got in season 2, I believe Robert Rodriguez and Peyton Reed are the newcomers this season. The only people who have not returned to direct this season at some point are two people. Taika Waititi, who's working on his own franchise movie, and Deborah, I believe, Chow. And she's working on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. So all the directing talent behind this might be involved in some future other Star Wars stuff. So that's something else to look out for.
Very cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess the question that I need to ask you is, what do you think is the last person that we see in the episode? Boba Fett?
I think so. Yes.
You think it's Boba Fett?
Boba Fett. Money.
Martin, I'm not so sure. I like that you say it's Boba Fett. I want look. Everybody wants it to be Boba Fett, and I read a bunch of articles saying it's obviously Boba Fett, blah blah blah. But then I read an article that said hey, it might just be a fake out so that we can keep the interest building all season type of thing, and it's going to be revealed as something different. We still have to get Ahsoka, and who's hanging out with Ahsoka? She has a team that's been hanging out with her. So anyway, moving on. The last thing we're going to do in Disney Plus Others is a new animated series from the creators of Bob's Burgers called The Great North. And I believe we have a video clip. Can we play that really quick? Nothing? No? Okay. No video clip!
Nick Offerman, Jenny Slate, Will Forte.
I couldn't find a captain's hat, which is why I drew an anchor on this parade.
Oh, that's an anchor. Thank God. From the producers of Bob's Burgers, The Great North.
The teaser trailer just got released recently. Corey, you're a lover of all things Bob's Burgers. So this is a very important question for you. What do you think about the potential of this?
I mean, I'm obviously going to think it all has potential. I worry about, because, you know, if you look at like Family Guy, you had Family Guy, you had American Dad, you had the Cleveland Show, and really only one of them worked. I know that American Dad is still out there and it has its own cult following, but there's not, none of them will ever stack up to Family Guy. And as different as all of them are, they all have the same type of comedy, at least as far as I see. So I worry that maybe it's too much of a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll sit here and watch Bob's Burgers comedy until the day that I die. But I think I just wonder if maybe they're taking it a little too far in trying to like create something very similar but still the same. I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm interested in, and what I told you was the most interesting part was I feel like it took a lot of voice actors that have been on Bob's Burgers, but had bit parts on Bob's Burgers, and now they're in the forefront in this one type of thing. Not the same characters, obviously, but just the same voice actors that they used are now in the forefront of this episode. So
yeah, but they've reused characters so much. Like Nick Offerman is so many different people in Bob's Burgers, like every 2 or 3 episodes, and then Jenny Slate is Tammy. So you know, she's there all the time. I don't think they're really, but like that's kind of like what I'm talking about. You know how like how Seth MacFarlane was all these people on Family Guy, then all these people on the Cleveland Show, and then all these people. Like, is it gonna be too much?
Well, I think for me, what it's gonna come down to is if the shows are different enough. Just going on to your point completely, like with those shows, like American Dad, Cleveland Show, Family Guy, they all kind of took on the exact same format. It was built around a family. It was a wacky, zany dad, and even they had an animal that could talk in every single, in all 3 of them. So if it's a little bit different, then I'm okay with it. But if it's not a little bit different and they just try to play into the exact same format as Bob's Burgers, where it revolves around a family and a business and zany offshoot characters and stuff like that, then maybe they're in trouble. Maybe they're going to flood their own market type of thing. Right. You know what I mean? But I'm interested to find out at least what it could be. So.
Samesies. But what I'm really interested in is gamer time.
Gamer time.
Gamer time. 3, 2, 1, go!
3, 2, 1, go.
I always do a dance when that happens because it's like I'm getting ready. I feel like I'm about to play video games. Anyway, there's so many things happening.
I'm like, okay.
There's so many things about to happen. I mean, all the consoles are about to be released. We're about to get the new Destiny expansion. We're about to get so much stuff. Corey, what do you have for us in gamer time?
Gamer time. So I think like the one thing that we've all really missed this year were the conventions. I know that like I used to sit there and watch the EA or the E3 streams, and then you'd have the PAX conventions, and then obviously BlizzCon. And then this year, BlizzCon has kind of been replaced with like a fireside chat with the president of Blizzard, and they're kind of like pushing a virtual BlizzCon until next February, which is like the 30th anniversary of Blizzard, which is crazy because I don't feel like I'm 30, so it's just really weird that like Blizzard would be that old. But one of the things that they spoke about in the fireside chat was how they're using machine learning to work on the toxicity within the gaming community. And right now, it's really only something that can be done on the PC because, you know, you can kind of monitor that chat and you can, you know, you'll find those repeat offenders. And he went on to speak about how the things that they've been doing have, 1, reduced the toxicity, and 2, have basically discouraged people from the people that are toxic, that they've discouraged them from playing. So I guess my question is, or what it kind of leads into, is how do we move that towards console gaming? Because when you think about it, you have a console game, you have voice chat. It's really hard to monitor voice chat. And then not only do you have voice chat, you have the text chat, which is linked to Xbox. So if you have somebody that's like, hey, I'm going to kill you, like in real life in a game, but they say it on the Xbox chat, whose responsibility is that to monitor, and whose responsibility is that to kind of fix it and make it better? Because it started to become a problem, right? We've all gotten that message after a really bad game, which, I mean, to be fair, is very rare for me. But when they're bad, they're bad. And
Well,
you get that. And how do we fix that?
Let me share a little bit of insight to somebody who might not be as good as you at gaming. It's pretty common if you don't have like a 10, 12, 15-year-old telling you that you suck every couple games or so, then are you really gaming online with people? Really? Like, I mean, I've been told many a time that I'm a noob and that I need to get better. And
that's mostly by me.
I was trying to leave your name out of it. But moving on, back to you, Corey. I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight into one of the lesser talented video game players.
No, but I mean that's kind of the question, and it kind of moves into, because I think we're at a point where everyone is aware it's unacceptable, and it starts to become kind of like a disconnect. You become kind of disconnected from who you are in the real world when you're online. So I'll actually throw this to Paul. Who do you think, or do you think that as far as gaming toxicity, do you think that it is the responsibility of the community, or is it the responsibility of the developer, or the responsibility of the console designer?
I would probably say the first and last option that you threw out there. I think
community and console.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I'm sure there's ways that developers can work towards making it better on platforms for people who are gaming, but I think that's a bit harder for them to kind of start at square one. I think in general, it's always good for something like this to start with the community, to lay out that, yeah, among us all, this is not acceptable, in order to just for us to continue gaming the way that we want to game. I think that Twitch streams and just people who record themselves online, there's a lot of tools there where you can get called out. You can get a video of you acting bad thrown online. You can get caught in that way. But also just, there has to be a way that you're going to be able to report somebody, and they're going to follow up on it and say, all right, you've got however many strikes against you for this or that. We hope that it's, young people who are learning to mature over time, and, good talking to does the job. But like any, get together for young people, it's always going to be mixed in there. So it's got to at least start with the community saying, hey, this is not acceptable. I think we feel that about a lot of things nowadays. Yeah. It really does start, number one, with the community saying, hey, we're not going to tolerate this.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of toxicity in games, let's talk about some sports games.
Yay!
Yeah, now we're my
It's not even sport. It's not just sports games.
I know it's not just sports games. So next Thursday, November 10th, EA Play is to launch on Game Pass. And I did some research for you, Danny. There are two different options. There's the EA Play, and then there's the EA Play Pro. So the EA Play is like their older games, last year's NBA, I don't know, last year's NHL, last year's Madden. And then like the older, you have Dragon Age, Plants vs. Zombies, stuff that hasn't come out recently. And then you have the EA Play Pro, which gives you DLCs, season passes, and the games that came out this year. So those are your two options, which, I mean, if you think about it, like, especially if they throw those games from Bethesda onto the Game Pass, plus you have EA Play, even EA Play Pro, like if you're a sports fan and you play sports game, even if that was $60 like a year or more, like that would still be such a great, like that's just such a great option, and it's such a great deal for the Xbox Game Pass. Like, I cannot see anything, even being able to own the game on PlayStation still doesn't match up to being able to play the games from Bethesda, from EA, and the rest of the games that you have on Game Pass. Because I mean, right now you have Witcher 3 on Game Pass, you have Destiny 2 on Game Pass, you have the whole Halo series on Game Pass. Yeah, all of that is on Game Pass right now, and like that's what, plus with Xbox Gold, that's $16 a month. You really can't beat that.
So I have two questions. First one, I just found out because I did a little bit of research also, getting ready for the story. Did you know that Jedi Fallen Order comes to EA Play on the 10th? That means if you have not played Jedi Fallen Order, which I have not, just because it came out when a bunch of other games that I wanted came out, and I didn't budget myself being able to get everything because I knew I wasn't going to be able to devote a bunch of time to it. I'm really looking forward to playing that particular game. But also, if you have Game Pass, which EA Play do you get? Like, I'm guessing you don't get the Pro.
I don't think you get the Pro. I think there are the two options. You get the EA Play, and then you can pay more for the EA Play Pro.
So
EA Play
Pro. If you're a Game Pass user on the 10th, you get EA Play, just the basic.
Well, you can actually start downloading the games right now. You can go on there. You can download the games right now. You can't play them, but they'll be ready for you to play on November 10th.
Very cool. So same thing as Destiny, basically. I don't know if you checked, but you can pre-download Beyond the Light right now. And so that on the 10th, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to be icy.
Which I have already done. I've downloaded. I'm ready to go on the 10th. As soon as the servers update, we're going to play some Destiny, damn it.
Play some Destiny.
All right. So, Paul, did you have anything to say about that? Doesn't matter. How about hashtag?
Well, actually,
Nothing. Come on. That's your one. All right, so that F, by the way, counted against Paul. So any other Fs that are on this show, if they're not from Corey, then Paul has $5 into the F joke.
Wait a minute. Why would that count against me?
Because you were talking underneath of it, so you automatically received the F.
What?
Yeah, you got it. Anyway, so the first story actually concerns Paul because we wouldn't have paid attention to this story if Paul hadn't been a victim of this particular thing.
Yeah. No, well, obviously, last week we had a really cool interview with Matthew Mitchell, the director of Love and Monsters.
Definitely not the name.
Michael Matthews. I got that still backed up. Oh God, no. Michael Matthews.
I hope Michael's watching this and he just obliterates you.
I'm so sorry. Michael. Anyways, I'm trying to talk about buying his movie. So his movie Love and Monsters is available on Amazon to either rent, in which case you get, I think, up to 30 days to start watching it, and then you get it for 48 hours, or you have the option to quote unquote buy it. And I found out like the day after I bought this for the realm for everybody to watch that I don't even own it. Apparently, Amazon doesn't actually own the titles that they have. What you buy from them when you click on buy is you're getting the right to digitally watch the movie for as long as Amazon allows you to watch it. I don't understand the logistics of this legally. I know that there's some woman in California who is trying to start a lawsuit against Amazon, although she keeps buying their movies, so I don't think it's going to work out. But for me, it just comes down to in the box. It was $19.99 to rent the movie. It was $25 to buy the movie. I bought the movie thinking that everybody would be able to watch it, only to find out that no, I get this for as long as Amazon says I get it. I don't have a question follow-up to this story. I'm just upset.
I mean, is there like a minimum amount of time that they can give you? Like they can't like so if the movie is supposed to come off of Amazon next week, you only get it for that week?
Yep. It's as
Supposedly
long
so.
as they hold the licensing rights to it. So just like where Netflix gets shows like Parks and Rec or The Office, and Hulu gets Friends and stuff like that. Eventually the rights come up and they either have to re-up and pay the millions of dollars that they had to own it or to license it for that long, or they have to say, you know what, we're going to get something different that you guys can move it to a different place. So if that happens with, say, Love and Monsters, where Netflix really wants it, when the licensing rights come up, and they're willing to pay more for it, then Amazon will lose it and Paul will lose it.
So I guess the takeaway from this story is always buy physical media. Do not buy the digital stuff. Get the physical disc.
No, the moral of the story is always get Paul to buy it so that everybody else can watch it.
I know. I bought this for everyone.
$1 in the jar, Paul.
Uh,
Anyway, so moving on. This next story is for any of our wrestling fans, and I know there's some in there. I'm not even making a joke. I know there are some in the population that love wrestling, and I mean, I wasn't the biggest wrestling guy. I know some wrestlers and like The Rock, and I mean, obviously everybody knows The Rock. But anyway, so The Last Stunner, Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary is coming out. When is it slated to actually come out? Anyway, it's made by the same people that did The Last Dance, the Jordan documentary series. I don't know exactly when it was slated to come out. Did we get a kind of like estimated date for that?
Well, the leak for this story comes from, if there are wrestling fans out there, you'll probably be familiar with the name Lillian Garcia. She was a ring announcer for the WWE, and going back to when they were the WWF for a long time. She's good friends with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I believe she was on a podcast, and she's the one who brought this up because the Last Dance producers reached out to WWE, probably for footage for the documentary, and then they reached out to her because she's good friends with him. And apparently it's not just going to be going into what we all know of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is middle fingers and stunners and beers, those three things.
Beers is the only thing I know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Steve Austin is an absolute legend of the business, but what the documentary, according to Lillian Garcia, is going to go into is a little bit more of what you don't know about him. Apparently, when he was really young, he was really, really shy. There's a story she told about he was too scared to order at the Dairy Queen and had to have his sister go do it. All these things that I think would be a really interesting take, and coming from the guys who did The Last Dance, which was a cultural event this year.
Yeah.
Watching, I don't know, you're going to have as much material as you had with MJ. But, I mean, I will absolutely jump down for either 2-hour documentary, or if you want to do another 10-episode series, absolutely, I am all in on this.
Interesting. Corey, thoughts?
I don't. I have no, like if there's a cute boy around, I'll watch this stuff, but it's not something that I'd be like, oh, let me turn off Bob's Burgers and put on
Why? It's Halloween. That's not now. Why would you? Why?
No, that's forever. Darling,
Why?
forever.
No. It needs to be covered with
Forever.
fire. Anyway, moving on. Shout out to everybody who is a wrestling fan in the population. I know there are some of you, just like Billy McDonald said. I mean, he's an old school wrestling fan, so he'll definitely be interested if it comes out. I know Paul is, and maybe Pete, if we ever have Pete back again. I don't know what Paul has done with Pete. We were not told that he was going to be here
I
today.
didn't think of that. What have you done with Pete?
I have done nothing with Pete. I don't know where Pete is. Pete was supposed to tell you all that I was on the show tonight, which he clearly didn't do. So don't go turning this around on me. If he goes
Moving on. A very, very smart person, smarter than me at least, has recreated the new Batman trailer using only Legos. I believe we have a video clip of this. Do we, Corey? Video clip? Yeah!
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
I left that in because I thought Pete was going to be here, damn it. And that was his favorite line of the entire thing. When I grabbed a JPEG for the reaction of it, that's the JPEG he wanted me to grab. But it really is the entire trailer. This isn't Lego Batman. This is the Batman trailer done with Legos.
How good is Lego Batman, though?
Lego Batman, Will Arnett as Batman as Lego Batman is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the talent of the person that created this is not Lego Batman. This is stop motion using Legos to the new Batman trailer. So it's very good.
I just love that it took 12 animators to animate Legos. Which, I mean, I'm not putting down at all. I'm just saying that, like, we have to weld people together to slap somebody around with a Lego.
This really was so good, though, because, I mean, I was already hyped on the Batman, but this got me rehyped on when is the Lego Batman sequel coming out? Like, 2 for 1 is what I took out of this. Like, I want more Batman.
Guys, do we need more Lego?
The answer to that is always yes.
All right, well. Moving on.
All right, guys, what are your product of the night?
Product of the night.
Let's do it.
All right. Product of the night is something near and dear to my heart, and something that I am hoping with us slowly moving to the holiday season that someone may see this on my holiday list and get it for me. Anyway, product of the night: you can adopt a dinosaur. Yeah, it comes with an adoption certificate.
Okay, can I just break this down really, really quickly? It's really quickly.
Go for it.
This is a rubber dinosaur on moss with a couple rocks and a salt shaker that comes with a piece of paper. Right?
And I get to put
and
his
how
name
much is it?
And my name.
$25.
It can be yours for the low price of $25.
It's on sale. You click
it's in a salt shaker. I can make this for you. You know what? I'm going to go down to Michael's.
Will you?
Okay.
I'm going to get you the classiest salt shaker.
Okay.
A little bit of moss.
Okay.
And a rubber dinosaur.
Okay.
And you're in for a treat this Christmas.
What about the certificate?
Yeah, what about that?
I don't have a printer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Touche.
And that's why I have to order it from Amazon. Printer. It's either pay $80 for a printer or $25 for a certificate from Amazon. Bam.
All right, fine.
Don't waste another $25 on Amazon. Not again.
Paul is the expert about wasting $25.
All that for everyone.
And we enjoy you for it.
I enjoyed it.
Thanks, Pete. Good stuff, Pete.
This is all I want. I want everybody from the population to get one and then just be like taking pictures. I want us to flood like the Facebook group just with pictures of everybody's certificates for adopting a dinosaur.
Wait, there's a Facebook group?
Anyway, so nothing really happened other than hey, Joe from H-Town, how's it going? I haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing? Anyway, so nothing really happened other than Halloween since the last show, right?
Oh, nothing interesting.
All right.
Nothing noteworthy.
I heard we have another product of the night, right? Paul, this was this your pick?
No, Tim, you want to bring up the graphic. I thought that this would be a fun product of the night for this week in particular because it reminded me of the election. It's a giant pickle. It's a giant pickle.
All right, Tim, can we cut his feed? There we go. All right, so I guess that's our show for the night. Corey, got any last words?
Pickle.